sit at the desk and do a live. I feel like I know I'm about to go to sleep in a minute, but want to talk about this. Got some intel on PBC, and then obviously we see Tank said he ain't arriving at the grand arrivals for Frank Martin because the promotion has been asked for the fight. Now I don't know if he will or won't show up, but we'll speak on that. Um, Also, if you join the Patreon, I've just put two new videos up. One for Free Game 89. The other one was the Broner and Blair Cobb, um, film review. We broke down what Blair Cobb did to defeat Adrian Broner and what Adrian Broner didn't do to defeat Blair Cobb, right? So, at the end of the day, let's talk about Gervonta real quick, and then I'll get to PVC. Probably keep it around 30 and under. 30 minutes under for this one. I might do go live tomorrow as well. But thumbs up the video, the more support, the longer I go. So for the most part, Gervonta said the promotion been asked for the fight, um, and that he wasn't showing up to the grand arrivals. I mean, the promotion has been about the same for every fight. They did Behind the Gloves, little docu series for this fight and the Benavidez fight. But you know, this is the 100th fight at the MGM Grand, so this is a big one. He's the 100th guy to be able to fight at the MGM Grand Garden, so that should be good. But yeah, they ain't been putting the money into the promotions. I mean, for years, in my opinion, it's no different now. The new promotional thing is to just do the podcast circuit. Daniel Berry salute. Go on a number of podcasts, support that way, and maybe you can even charge the podcaster for having you come on instead of spending money on marketing. Now they having podcasters spread the word, which is a nice adjustment, but you need a little bit more than that. And he ain't happy with the promotion of the fight. I mean, they don't run commercials like they used to. They don't do things like they used to do. And to me, it's been on par with every other fight we've seen. That's just the way it is. And PBC paying out of pocket for a lot of these expenses. And at the end of the day, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute, they had to cut back some of the stuff they spent on. And apparently, they in financial turmoil, as I'm about to get to. So, I mean, Tank and Bitch complain. He know what's going on. And they figured that Al got super duper deep pockets or whatever. So, he should be doing more promotional wise. And Amazon Prime should be jumping on the freight and promoting a lot better too. They promoted the hell out that last Nayu Inoue fight that was on Prime Video, I guess, over there in Japan. I don't know if it was in the United States too, but they did a good job after promoting. They ain't doing a good job promoting this fight. But how do you promote to put these guys where they need to be? Um, where they need to be promotional wise? That's the $1,000,000 question. How do you properly promote in today's day and age? For today's fighter. You know. So we can tell the money getting funny, but really before the money got funny, when the last great fight that was promoted? The last one I really could find that they really push for real, like really push, and I don't mean on some modern day Lomachenko shit, was the Klitschko fight when Klitschko fought David Haye. That's the last time I really seen them really, put the gas to the pedal to the metal to promote a fight. They put a lot of effort in that Klitschko fight, and then obviously, David Haye didn't show up. He claimed to have a toe injury. Another fight they put a lot of promotion in. It was Devin Alexander and Tim Bradley. That was the last real hard promotion in America that I can remember for real. You gotta think about it. For Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather, they didn't promote. They did the couple 2 city press conferences, and the promotion was lazy because they basically said that they had, that it had promoted itself for the previous 5 or 4, 6, 7 years before that. So they didn't really put any pedal. They didn't really put the pedal to the metal in promoting it. So you definitely kind of see where it's going. But in this situation, this is a fight for the most part that nobody really asked for. So they need to promote it, but they not putting no promotion into it. Having Frank and Tank go on podcast, that's the start. But how do we put them in the public's visibility? The casual's eye visibility. They need to be on like The View, and they need to be, doing the late night shows, and they need to be the terrestrial TV way. They need to be doing that. So, I don't watch them on TV, but I ain't seen too many commercials ran about the fight neither. So at the end of the day, these dudes know the money getting funny, and you expecting the platinum carpet treatment. to get rolled out for you, and you know that's not in the cards. They barely probably had enough money to pay them, and then the guaranteed purchase on this fight is nasty work. But I'll talk about that Friday or Saturday morning. The guaranteed purchase for the fight is nasty work. You know, it ain't high at all from what I seen. If it was true, it ain't high and it look about right. But you know, um, I don't know if he legally obligated to show up to the grand arrivals. So you know, who knows? But at the end of the day, man, um, you know, people will sit there. You tell them like, you know what, man, we about to make a road trip. They gave me a little Nissan Juke, so I don't know if you still want to go. You gonna be cramped up? No, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I want to go. I ain't really tripping. Then niggas get to tripping. You know, then ninjas get to tripping. You tell ninjas ahead of time, like, okay, man, this is what. Woo, woo. Then they get to tripping. You know, like he can't trip. He know what the situation is. But you know, like I said before, it's hard for people to accept taking the pay cut. Make sure I hearted the thumbs of the video. It's hard for people to accept the pay cut. You know, when you was getting paid all this money for easy fights, and then you got to take a pay cut in the pen. You know, during inflation. So a lot of them fighters don't understand how the math ain't mathing. They want the money. Hold on, real quick. They want money that they was once getting. You know, they want the money that they was once getting. But that's just not possible right now. So for the most part, in a lot of those contracts, especially the guys that was over at HBO when they was milking them, a lot of those contracts was front loaded. It's kind of like an NFL contract. All the big money is on the front end. Then you get to the back end, then the money get non-guaranteed and it get funny. So right now, what Tank and them got to do is kill what they eat. Got to eat what they kill. And they got to get out there and promote and put money into their own promotions. They got to, trust their fan base to tap in. And basically, they're working on commission. You know, they working on commission. So, but Tank saying that he refused to show up to the grand arrival because they ain't promoting it the right way. Shit, if their money right, you should show up. But a lot of them fighters don't like doing those things that they obligated to do. It mess up their regimen, it mess up their rest. At one point, Terrence Crawford didn't want to turn around and do no promotional work and no marketing work. So don't forget that. So when we started boiling down to it, to me, it don't look no different than any other Tank fight week. It don't look no different. It don't look no different. It's the same thing over and over again. They ain't put their foot in the promotion in quite some time. He said, how's it dark and it's still light outside? He be asking some dumbass questions. Let's keep it funky. He said Mikey Garcia, he said Mikey Garcia and Earl Spence was the last fight I seen do a decent job. I want to see Frank versus top fighters. Exciting. Frank about to get slept. Bernardo, salute. Dimitri say, why Derek James fighters can't fight going backwards? It's a good question. Jamel Charlo used to fight going backwards when he was with Ronnie. He said Frank can fight going backwards. Look at his fight with Rivera. But like I said before about Tank, bro, he can complain all he wants to, but if he legally obligated to do that and he got a binding contract, they can deduct him for not showing up. So that's one thing that he got to remember, that they can touch your pockets if you legally obligate. Now, if it ain't any legally contracted obligation tied to your money, then you do what you want to do. But you can't say the fight ain't being promoted and then fans come to see you at the grand arrival and you ain't there. Then how it ain't be, you ain't doing your part to promote the fight. So you got to do your fight to promote the fight. So, if I have my finger over the camera, would I have my finger over the camera for 10 straight minutes? I wish some of y'all started a YouTube channel so y'all know what y'all talking about. Cause my finger definitely ain't over the camera. But I don't know if Frank and everybody else showed up. But the fans is free, so they ain't paying no money. But then again, it's a way to interact with the fans. It's a way to get the fans to sell a couple more tickets too. A lot of fans get there and they get a lot of memorabilia signed while they at these shows and stuff. So, um, from that standpoint, that is what it is. Now I got some intel on PBC. Now Rick Glazer said yesterday that he has some big news about some boxing. Right? He said some shocking news. It's gonna shake the earth or whatever boxing. And today he said he got some separate news that he heard that we supposed to get an announcement at the end of this week. And it don't sound like that's good. Now one of those things I just seen a video coming on where one of the guys, Dan Grizzle, I don't know, they got a podcast, and he was saying that with the PBC, with Turkey Al Sheik want to start a boxing league, and that he's trying to buy Golden Boy and Queensberry Promotions. So I don't know if he gonna buy them and then buy Matchroom and then buy PBC, but apparently he want to start a boxing league. So I just see that video before I hopped on here, so I don't know if that's part of the news that Rick Glazer talking about. But then I heard another part of the news. Another part was that Al Heyman ain't been paying some of his employees. That Steven Espinoza allegedly didn't get paid for his work with in the inaugural Prime Video fight that he didn't get paid. So that some of Al Heyman's employees not getting paid neither. So they saying it's just not the fighters, it's some of these employees that's not getting paid. And they saying that allegedly Steven Espinoza was in the consultant position and helping PBC, make that transition from Showtime to Premiere to Prime Video, and that he got gypped on they ain't pay him for what he did last time out. And at the end of the day, hopefully he made some good money. He got a severance package from Showtime, but hopefully he made some good money because Al Heyman gonna make it hard for him to go to another company and get a job because they allegedly ran a finesse game where they was charging promotional companies, extra excess amount dollars. When Floyd stopped fighting, and then when they start looking at with the inflation, they start looking at where the expenses were going. They saying they spent a whole bunch of money in sports when they didn't have to. But now it's being said that Al Heyman just wants to traditionally, he just wants to be a regular manager now, and he don't want nothing to do with PBC. So now basically he just want to manage fighters again, and probably allow them to go to Golden Boy, Queensberry, Matchroom, wherever they want to fight at, and get a percentage of it. So he's still going to have power, but they said he basically just want to fade into the black and not do the TV show PBC no more. He just want to manage fighters again, and that's because he fucked everything up. So now he going whatever they percentage they get out of his check. He basically just going to buy some, go over here and go over there, sign this and sign that, and get a percentage of it, but just not have the unofficial title of a promoter, which he was a TV show. So they're pretty much saying that he owes some people some money in this boxing shit, like Steven Espinoza allegedly, and then they turn around and saying that that he don't want to be a promoter no more. He just want to manage fighters on and just do that. And at the end of the day, he fumbled the bag. He fumbled the bag. He fumbled the bag. So he had a big opportunity to really grow the sport of boxing, and now they saying that he trying to get from under this deal with PBC, and then he trying to just manage fighters, which he should have did in the beginning, just send fighters wherever was lucrative for his pockets and his fighters' pockets. If it was going to Matchroom for a fight and going over to the Golden Boy, that was cool. But at the end of the day, 100% of businesses fail because people never started the business or never manifest the idea of doing the business. So, he came, he saw, he conquered and all that, but yeah, I don't know if those are the two rumors that Espinoza speaking about. But if those are the rumors that he's speaking about, as far as what's going on with PBC and what's going on with Queensberry and Golden Boy, it should be interesting. I don't know Oscar want to sell his company and Frank Warren want to sell his company. And I don't even know if them two promotional companies alone got enough fighters to be able to do a boxing league with that people will really watch or get entertained by. That's the $1 million question. But on the Al Heyman side of things, yeah, the money dried up. They kept talking about this Phantom Network was gonna come in and save the day. It ain't no Phantom Network coming in and save the day. Believe me, ain't no Phantom Network coming to save the day. If another network was interested in putting money up and bringing them on, they would have did it already. Netflix not interested. HBO ain't coming back. Showtime out the game. So at the end of the day, they exhausted all their options. You know, and now he just want to rent fighters out. Then you gotta ask yourself, who gonna want these fighters? Leo, Gary, the Charlo twins. Like nobody really gonna want to deal with them. Nobody want to deal with them. And now, Al Heyman being subjected to a possible just that fading the black and just being a manager, that don't mean fights gonna happen either. He gonna still try to milk these guys for the most money. On the behalf of his pockets and his fighters' pockets, and that's what he's supposed to do. Somebody said the grand arrivals look bad. I mean, at the end of the day, for they kick off inaugural press conference, they kick off Prime Video with Zoo and Thurman, which ended up being Fandora and Zoo. Look at the podium, was all scratched up and beat up. The whole podium was scratched up and beat up. So, we know what that is, what it is, man. It's a bootleg. Straight up bootleg. So, now he waking up to a realization that a lot of these fighters that he got, that people ain't, inclined to want to work with them because all the fights that you want to see is past their prime. Boxing low key might come singular league like UFC if Turk follows through on this. Yeah, they talking about 4 to 5 billion. They talking about playing with this, and it could, But then again, do the promotional companies they get or can get, do they got enough players to see the fights through? That's the $1 million question. They got enough players to see the fights through. So I don't have an answer to it though, but he is borrowing Al Heyman fighters. He said super cheap on that grand arrival, so apparently everybody's saying it looked bad. When money get funny, dude, you got to cut back somewhere. Especially when you allegedly ain't paying some of your employees, so they're not gonna put the work in that they once put in. Tank ain't even bother to show up, and that's never a good sign. I remember Manny Pacquiao sat in the back for the Tim Bradley fight to watch the Celtics playoff game, and a lot of people felt like they robbed him. And a lot of people said, well, he got gypped on the scorecards because he made everybody wait to finish watching the basketball game. That fight started after midnight, I believe. So, these judges and officials got their way of getting back, but if it's true that PBC and Al Heyman, that it could be done, and Al just want to rent his fighters out to other promotional companies, I mean, I just feel like he could have just did so much more with the idea of PBC, and that wasn't originally his idea. You know what I'm saying? He stole somebody else's idea allegedly and ran off with it, but I don't know how you can steal somebody's idea. You can't really touch it most of the time. It's abstract. So, he put it in motion and he made his bread off of it. He made a bunch of bread off of it. It could have went down as one of the greatest companies of all time and one of the greatest, examples of a loophole with the Muhammad Ali act. But, then again, he didn't do it the right way. Instead of making the fights the fans want to see every once in a while, he had to do it every year. PBC would have been booming and been hot as fish grease. You saying, no, I ain't going to Chris to fight. Nope. I don't fuck with that promoter. So, nah. Last fight I went to was, Alicia Baumgartner. That shit was lit, though. So that shit was lit. But yeah, that's all I got, man, because I'm drop dead tired. But I'll dedicate a video to that Al Heyman story about, him just wanting to be a manager and PBC being over. But according to Rick Glazer, we got some huge news coming. Danny Garcia, quarter of the budget to fight. Damn. But yeah, we gotta We got a ways to go, but we'll see what popping, later in boxing. But I just want to speak to y'all for a second. Peace.